This is Tosha, and you're tuning into the Supernova Tosha Show podcast, the show that addresses social issues and how it affects our community. Today, we have a very serious topic, and I hope that after you listen to the show or view this show, that you can have a conversation with your children, with your other half, if you're co-parenting, however you do this. This is a very, very serious and very important topic. So today we're going to be discussing extortion, satanic, pedophilic cults. So we all know that there are a lot of cults out there, but I was surprised to know that there are specific cults that target children. So with that being said, I went to work and watched as many videos as I could and read as much as I could to gather some information to bring to you. So it is important to acknowledge that the experience and challenges faced by young people today may differ from those of previous generations like ourselves. And while it is true that societal changes have brought about new issues and concerns, it is crucial to approach these topics with sensitivity and understanding. It is essential for adults who are involved in lives of children, such as educators, if you're a caregiver, mentor, parents, aunts, uncles, be vigilant and monitor their online activities. You want to ensure their safety and the well-being of that is the utmost importance. Now, while there have been reports of disturbing online activities involving minors, it is crucial to rely on verified information from reputable sources. If you do come across any concerning content or suspect illegal activities, it is advisable to report it to the appropriate authorities. According to sources familiar with investigations, there is a group known as 764. It has been found to have a large network of consisting of several thousands of participants, including hundreds of highly active members. These individuals are primarily responsible for creating and sharing a significant amount of child pornography and violent videos within the group's channels on platforms such as Telegram, Discord, and Matrix. So similar to other extremist organizations, similar to other, extremist organizations operating online, this 764 has members located worldwide, including individuals from the UK and also Germany. In connection to the group, there are suspicions that a German teenager who was currently accused of murdering his foster parents in Romania may have been involved in 764. This information has been reported by Der Spiegel and the Romanian outlet called Libertate. Libertate. So Libertatea. I hope I'm saying it right, but Libertate, and this is where I got this information from. The FBI became aware of an individual named Almeida through an anonymous tipster who flagged his social media accounts. These accounts contain disturbing images depicting violence against children and animals. One of the posts expressed support for Dylan Roof. Here in the States, a lot of people are familiar with that name, Dylan Roof. He is a white supremacist who's responsible for the 2015 massacre of the African American churchgoers in Charleston. Another post showed Almeida posting shirtless with a shotgun, wearing a skull mask, and carrying crossed bandoliers of rifle ammunition. In the background, there was a flag featuring the symbol of the Order of Nine Angels. During a search of Almeida's apartment in New York, investigators discovered a 9mm handgun, bandoliers of rifle ammunition, and books related to the Order of Nine Angels, and a flag displaying the insignia of an American offshoot of the um, it's the 09A called the Temple of Blood. These findings were detailed in a November 2021 detention memorandum filed by the federal prosecutors. One significant item discovered was the 09A Blood of Covenant that included a drawing of a hooded figure with glowing red eyes. It was smeared with blood. The drawing was surrounded by sigils representing four 09A deities, which is Vindex, Nithra, Satan, and Abuda. At the bottom of the page, there was an oath written. The oath reads like this: a covenant signed in blood. May the devil walk with you always. Satanic manibus, which is Satanae, and the second word is manibus, manibus, which translates to by Satan's hand in Latin. Whew, my Lord. Similar evidence has been found in the possession of individuals influenced by 09A who were involved in criminal activities in both Britain and also in Canada. So when I say it's worldwide, we're talking worldwide. As I begin exploring this topic, I must admit that I can experience a sense of unease. It does seem as though I am delving into a realm associated with entities that embody unspeakable evil. It's deplorable, it's wickedness, and the unimaginable horror, which, are typically only encountered in fictional accounts. So to alleviate my discomfort, I literally had to grab my Bible. I had to anoint my head with oil and just pray over some water and sip some water while I continue to go through my research. I would have preferred to have a conversation and maybe do some research on someone who's an atheist. And that not that I'm trying to be judgmental of people, but I have friends who are atheists. I would say acquaintances, really, because my close friends are people who, I have the same affiliations with, the same interests, and the same as far as not maybe the same religion, but the same deity, right? So as in, people that I know that are atheists, I mean, I associate with them, but that's pretty much it. So I would have much rather just have a conversation or even research something about an atheist than to delve into this deplorable wickedness. So I had mentioned prior the Order of Nine Angels, which is the ONA. You want to know who they are? Well, they are a group founded in the UK. I've never heard of them before, so I wanted to find out, and kind of just relay the information as I'm going through. But they are a group that was founded in the UK in the 1970s. So they've been around for quite some time. It's gained attention from law enforcement and has been linked to recent UK terrorism. Prosecutors involving extreme right-wing ideologies. While the group idolizes the Nazi era and follows a calendar based on Adolf Hitler's birth, its belief system extends beyond typical right-wing extension. The ONA aims to undermine what it perceives as, as a Judeo-Christian society, and seeks to establish a new imperial civilization based upon a combination of Darwinism, Satanism, and fascism. Actually, it's social Darwinism. So social Darwinism is a theory that states that people's individuals and groups are subject to the same Darwinian laws of natural selection as plants and animals, based in the 19th and early 20th century to justify racism and also justify imperialism. So, Adherents are, they're very much encouraged to infiltrate organizations like the military or sometimes even Christian churches. They covertly try to destabilize them from within. So the ONA operates through a decentralized network of associated bodies across various countries, with individuals progressing through hierarchical ranks and undertaking tasks to prove their leadership abilities. It is important to note that the ONA rejects ethics, and some of its key texts discuss ritual sacrifices, both symbolic and also actual. The group has been linked to a case involving a 16-year-old British boy who became the youngest person convicted of planning a terror attack in the UK. Prosecutors argued that he was influenced by the ONA and sought to align himself with their literature, as evidenced by his drawing of the group symbol and an instruction um, in order to shed empathy. In court, the organization was described as self-consciously, explicitly malevolent, and most prominent and recognizable link between Satanism and the extreme right. Additionally, the ONA's association with the Sonderkrieg division, which glorifies sexual violence, it also highlights another disturbing aspect related to the group: the use of sexual offending as the means to undermine social norms. So basically, a lot of these groups, what they're doing, they are online with these social media platforms that the younger kids use, such as um, the ones that I had mentioned before. Um, Especially Roblox. They use that game, Roblox, and then they have Telegram. That's one of the online platforms. So what they do is they get to the young people, and they convince them to do things and make these videos, and then they blackmail them, saying that they'll expose them, they'll show the videos, and so the young people end up committing just like heinous acts to themselves because they're basically afraid. Now, in my head, I had my own ideology of what a Satanist looks like, the values of a Satanist. Just I grew up with Marilyn Manson. So when I think of a Satanist, I'm thinking that's the appearance and, the mannerisms of a Satanist. So I'm definitely not an expert on the religion, the movement, the lifestyle, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But, I have a video that shows someone who belongs to a satanic temple, and this clip I want you to watch so that it, for me, I was taken aback because this man looks so normal. He looks like one of my next door neighbors. I was really taken aback by it. So I want to show you this video and kind of just listen to his views on Satanism, um, and how they can quickly infiltrate into any church, um into the military. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this video so you can look and listen. Let's roll that video.
If I walked into the Satanic Temple, I'm assuming that there is a building, the Satanic Temple, yeah,
correct?
Okay.
In Salem, Massachusetts.
If I walked in there, if I walk into any other place of worship, there'll probably be a sign, sort of almost their mission statement that I would be welcome to. What would be, in a sentence, the mission statement of the Satanic Temple as I walk through those doors?
We don't have a mission statement on the doors, right, but anybody's welcome to come in. It's set up more like an art gallery where people can come in on their own and tour through. But the simple kind of elevator pitch for the Satanic Temple is that we're a non-theistic religion in opposition to arbitrary authority. we align ourselves against the rising theocratic movement, particularly in the United States today. And we have a set of affirmative values we feel that are in line with that kind of rejection of arbitrary authority and tyrannical motions that we see being enacted.
Is this what Satanism has always been about? Because if you ask some people out there what's, actually before I even looked into this today, I mean, I would have had sort of all kinds of views about what Satanism is, actually devil worshipping and actually probably stuff you don't really want to get involved in. Have we had it wrong all this time? Has it always been about what you just described?
Well, I think there's been a kind of concept of what Satanism could be ever since Milton, and Milton imagined Satan as this ultimate rebel against tyranny. And that's the kind of mythological construct that we use. It's very, it can be very shocking and be seen as offensive to a lot of people, but to a lot of us who embrace it and identify with it, it's not merely to shock and offend. We grew up in a Judeo-Christian culture, and we began to question some of the superstitious norms that were being imposed upon us.
Like?
These notions of the impending apocalypse, the return of Jesus, the fact that there's biblical fiats that ban people from gay marriage or abortion and other
as we're
such
seeing
things.
currently in Alabama just 2 weeks ago.
Right.
In America, essentially, that there is a law which says there should be sort of freedom of religion and equality of religious expressions. But you're saying that actually Christianity dominates the law, dominates social constructs, views, and so you're trying to counter that dominance.
Right. Well, on paper, as a constitutional republic, we're a pluralistic nation, a secular nation that respects religious liberty. We're supposed to be premised on religious liberty. And what we're finding now is there's a theocratic movement to redefine religious liberty to mean that a specific religious viewpoint is allowed to encroach its will upon the rest of the population.
And how are you received, when you go out and you presumably you take a stand, you do protest or whatever you do? I mean, are you vilified? Are you demonized because of the name of the church?
Things are getting more and more polarized as time goes on in the United States. And as that happens, a lot more people seem to understand what we're doing and embrace it. And a lot more people get more violently opposed to what we're doing, to the point where you see in the climactic scene at the end of the film, I'm speaking at a rally and it's found necessary that I should wear a bulletproof vest because we're getting death threats from the Ku Klux Klan, some neo-Nazi organizations, and other kind of Christian supremacist groups. Of course, nobody took a shot, but that's kind of what we deal with by...
So all this started as initially, was it just a stunt? I mean, Rick Scott, who's the Florida governor, he'd signed a law which basically was saying that, encouraging more inspirational messages to be read in schools, and that the thought was what that was really about was encouraging teaching of Christianity. Now, initially, what you began was just a stunt in reaction to that. Is that right?
Actually, I was kind of consulting on a stunt, and I was somebody who authentically identified already as a Satanist, and this resonated for me, but it wasn't something I wanted to do publicly because it kind of puts a target on you. So some friends of mine were doing a film project, and they wanted to kind of exploit this idea of an alternative religious voice trying to gain the same access and privileges that were being demanded by Christians. And so Satanism seemed the obvious thing because I had an expertise in that, and then it grew into what it is now.
Now, but the thing is, there'll be people out there who are Christians out there who think, well, the Christian religion teaches good things. It teaches good morals. It teaches a good way of being. So why are you opposing that?
Sometimes it does. And another thing that you don't see in the film is that at the final climactic rally, that was actually an interfaith rally that we put together, and there were Christian ministers speaking before I came on the stage. And they knew they'd be standing with our monument, the Baphomet Monument, and they knew I was the headlining speaker. But they still understood the value in what we were doing. They understood the value of making sure that the government remains neutral insofar as religious viewpoint is concerned. And to that end, they supported what we were doing, even though they might not embrace the symbolic structure we use.
Yeah. It's interesting. Here we have a debate going on in the UK about sort of the teaching of things in school, whether it's about, homosexuality or multi-relationships between people, and certain religious groups are opposed to that. Are you saying that actually the answer is not necessarily to ban religious teaching or any kind of teaching like that in schools, but to encourage all kinds, have plurality of teachings of thoughts and beliefs within schools?
Right. There you would have to question whose freedom is actually being imposed upon. Is it the freedom for children to learn all points of views, or the freedom of certain religious parents to say they don't want their children exposed to certain materials? And it kind of goes back to our fight for putting our monument next to a Ten Commandments monument on the public grounds. We were never asking for exclusive access. What we were saying was, so long as you have one religious monument privately donated on public lands, you need to accept other religious monuments as well. And we didn't even want ours there if another religious monument wasn't there.
And calling your movement, is it more of a movement rather than religion, I guess? Using the word Satan, that is a brilliant way of being noticed, is it? I mean, you could call yourself something else, couldn't you? But it's such a provocative word.
Actually, I don't feel we could call ourselves something else. We're non-theistic, so we don't believe in a personal Satan, but it's still deeply meaningful to us, having grown up in Judeo-Christian culture. And this kind of socio-political counter myth resonates for us in a way that's unique, that we couldn't choose arbitrarily another character. It wouldn't resonate for us as strongly. Some of us came out of superstition ourselves and found it very liberating to be able to embrace the blasphemous, not just to offend other people, but to be liberated from superstition ourselves.
So you're like a science-based, you sort of believe in facts and science that you can touch and see and believe in that sense.
Right. And a lot of people kind of question whether a non-theistic religion can really be considered a religion as such. But so long as you allow certain privileges and exemptions for religions, to only allow those for groups that believe in some superstition.
Do you have rituals? You know, religions have rituals, don't you? You know, I'm a Sikh, you go in, you bow down, you cover your head, you take your shoes off.
Right.
You go into a mosque, you do other things. Do you have rituals in your...
Rituals have kind of naturally developed within the Satanic Temple, and it's interesting to see.
So what would I have to do, like, to come in? Like,
well, it kind of goes along with our kind of anti-authoritarian philosophy, where most of the rituals enacted by our different chapters and various groups are very much creative performance art pieces, and often created just for the moment and for specific events.
Right, okay.
Lucian Greaves, thank you very much, and good luck with the movie. Hail Satan will be released on August the 23rd, and the film will be closing the Sundance Film Festival in London this Sunday.
Well, so that was the POV, point of view of Mr. Greaves. I don't know. I'm thinking he's just capping because he wants his film to do well. Because I don't know, the way that he comes across as if he's, it was a joke. It was, I don't know. I don't know about this guy, but anyway, he looks like some guy like you would see walking across college campus in a theater group. And he's studying to be a thespian, and this is his way of bringing attention to his acting chops or what have you. But in any case, he identifies as a Satanist, and this started out as some kind of a prank, and now he's just gone with it. He's getting recognition. I don't know. He probably has an online presence and making money from it. I don't know, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to show a point of view of someone that I would never think would be a Satanist. Like if I was a professor in a college, this is how the kids look to me. That's how they dress. Or, he looks like someone who, I don't know, sells life insurance. Anywho, it could be your neighbor. It could be the guy working as a barista at Starbucks. It's just, yeah. So, as a parent, it can be confusing and overwhelming to navigate the online world, especially when it comes to platforms like Roblox and Discord. While children do not normally use Facebook, I know as a parent, I've been called a boomer because I use Facebook, but normally young people don't use Facebook as frequently. It is important to be attentive when you hear mentions of words and things such as Roblox, and when you hear Discord. These are the platforms that are popular amongst younger users. It is also crucial to stay informed and engaged in your child's online activities to ensure their safety and also their well-being. And I don't know, a lot of you parents are really into respect of their privacy and this, that, and the other. But I implore you, I encourage you. There are times where you need to go into that room, look under the mattress, look under the bed, go through the drawers, the bathroom cabinets, the closets, the bookshelves, the jackets, the pocket of the pants. You know, they're facing things that we never had to deal with. I mean, I remember I was in high school when one of my classmates, he was a gothic kid. Matter of fact, it was odd to us because he was of Jamaican heritage. So it was weird to see all the Caucasian kids walking around with the long black coats. And then you saw um, a black kid and he had on the long black coat and he hung out with all the goth kids. He painted his nails. Um, yeah, he lived around the neighborhood. I still live close to the neighborhood where, I grew up, and I saw his family not a few years back at one of my friend's party, and that kid ended up um, in prison. Actually, he was him and another high school classmate. I wouldn't say friends. Like, we knew them, and we would, if we saw them at a party or what have you, we'd say, "Hey, what's up?" Give them a head nod. But at the end of the day, they were a bunch of kids during a certain age. I don't know why these boys would do this, but they would go around and they would carjack. And I remember this gothic kid and his friend, they both carjacked this guy. I don't know if he was a security guard or something to do with security, or if he was a off-duty cop. It was something like that he did. And he said he was handing over the keys, and all he saw was a pair of light eyes looking at him, because this gothic kid, don't want to say his name, but he had green eyes. And he said all he saw a pair of light eyes point the weapon at him and discharge the weapon. That gentleman did survive, but he ended up in a wheelchair, changed his life forever. And those two classmates of mine served time in prison. And of course, one said it's the other one that pulled the trigger. And, I visited them once. It's so weird. It's my really good friend of mine. She had a crush on the criminal. And so it was my first time ever going to a prison. And it was far away from us. So she was driving and she wanted me to tag along with her for company because she's never driven so far. And I remember we were like fresh out of high school. We were like I graduated high school. I think I was like 16. I graduated early. So I was, still in my teens. I think I was 17. She was like 18 or what have you. And no, she had to be my age because we're the same age, but she was in a grade below me. So anyway, we're driving like an hour and a half away from us. And so I was her company. And I remember crossing that bridge to get into the prison, and I hear all the prisoners catcalling. I was so nervous. My stomach was doing butterflies. And I said to her, when we went, I visited with him, and it was so sad. Like, I really wanted to cry because I'm like, this is someone I went to school with. This is someone from the neighborhood. And I cannot believe like he committed such a heinous crime to get him here. And I remember leaving. I told my friend, don't ever ask me to come back. This is the most nerve-wracking day of my entire life. The drive was forever. I thought we'd never get there. And to see him behind bars with people who, have done heinous crimes, it was just awful. So, as a parent, I implore you to keep an eye out, keep a watchful eye out for your kids, and search their rooms. Well, this privacy thing, you'll get privacy when you move out. So I do have another short video to show. It goes through some of the terms that you should familiarize yourself with as a caregiver for parents. And like I said, you don't even have to be a parent. If you have grandchildren, if you're an aunt, if you're an uncle, if you have children in your life, young kids, I mean, as young as 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, coming up from, age 9, 10, 11, 12, coming all the way up, you really and truly need to know what is going on and what they're watching, and always be vigilant. So go ahead and we're going to roll this other video. It's a short video. I just want you to be familiar with some of the terms. Take a look.
Hi there, this is Deputy Ian Campbell with the King County Sheriff's Office with the Sammamish PD. And today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about some of the recent swatting incidents that we've had in the city that also involve some social media. So what swatting is, if you don't know, it's when someone calls in potentially a fake emergency at an address or to a specific person, claiming that they need immediate police attention for whatever reason, for whatever emergency that they're reporting. What we've seen recently in the city is they're using an application more commonly called Discord. If you don't know what Discord is a communication application used on iOS or Android oftentimes that allows gamers and other people to be able to talk to each other on individual servers or channels. Oftentimes, gaming is being used while they're doing the Discord servers. And if someone is maybe angered by another gamer, or something happens where two people maybe don't like each other, oftentimes these people can be doxxed. Doxxed is short for dropping documents or finding information out about another individual. We're seeing this very common with social media, specifically with Discord. So if you have a child that is using Discord, make sure to ask about that. Make sure to ask about what they're viewing on Discord, as there's numerous different servers that you can connect to and numerous different people that you can talk to on it.
All right. So just viewers, listeners, these young folks today, they have access and way more temptations than that we did. And they just have so much more to deal with than we ever had to. These kids, they're sad, they're depressed, they're angry, they're overwhelmed, they're overloaded with information, and they just don't know what to do with all of this, all these emotions. So, I hope this, this opens discussions, and it opens your eyes, and it sparks conversations. And, go ahead and spread the word, share my videos, and, don't hold on to it. It's information. I try to be as informative and try to make sure that, we build a strong ecosystem. Let's find solutions. Let's start talking. That's the only way we can start dialogue and start talking, so that we can find solutions for these young people. Hey, to my loyal family, this is Supernova Tosha Show podcast. Listen, I can be heard on any of these apps, such as Spotify, Pandora, TuneIn, and even iHeartRadio. If you have a newer device, you may be able to pick it up on Google Podcasts. So the goal here for me is to be on the top 10 podcasts to listen to list. So please share, subscribe, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and spread the word. I am so grateful for the time. Thank you so much for being attentive, and I appreciate your presence. Be careful, be safe, and as they say in the islands, walk good, peace, and be still.